Here's where it all starts, right here. It all starts right here.
Coach, now your 10th season in Seattle. Thoughts on reaching that mark?
Well, I never ever thought about coaching anywhere for that long. My whole career has been bouncing around and going from one place to the next. I've always thought of myself as kind of a mercenary, fighting other people's wars. And but we've really dug in here, and it's been a great 10 years.
Good job, good job. Hey, that's great football now. That's great ball right. Keeping it back up. That's great football, fellas.
Hard to believe you've been here longer than you were at USC.
Oh yeah, yeah. I never imagined being anywhere as long as I was at SC. And coming here, I honestly didn't think you guys would want me this long. So I'm really proud of the years we put together, and it's been a blast.
It's not just you, it's also John Schneider. Been together for 10 seasons now. Describe why you think that relationship works so well.
I think we started out with a really good thought. I was saying to John the first meeting we got together when he accepted the job that I'm going to try to help him be the best general manager in the history of professional sports, and I'm going to do everything I can to do that and to support you in that regard. And from that point, I was committed to the relationship, and I was hoping John would buy in too. I knew what I was thinking, and I was trying to get him to commit. And it's been a marriage in a sense, and there's been all kinds of challenges to it, and mostly highs, tons of good times, tons of fun. It's been a joy competing with him.
There's always good stories in a marriage. What's your best John Schneider story?
Oh, there's a million of them. One I would share with you is every draft, we have a meeting with the owner, and back in the day we met with Paul Allen, and on Wednesday of the draft week, and John was telling him what's going to happen in the draft and what he thinks. We had a couple #1 picks, and John told him, I don't know what's going to happen. It depends on who's there. And the more he talked, all of a sudden out of nowhere, Paul just put his head in his hands. He said, "This is going to be the worst Seahawks draft ever." John and I look at each other. Oh no! We just sent him in the tank right off the, before we even got started. We didn't draft anybody yet.
Right.
Anyway, so that's kind of when it all started, and fortunately it worked out. It turned out a little bit better than that. But that was one of the stories John and I will never forget. That's where we began our relationship with the owner.
It worked out well. Earl Thomas, Russell Okung,
yeah, it worked
first
out
draft.
fine, but we just couldn't tell at the time.
You and John had a plan for this offseason. A lot of moving parts. Evaluate the execution and results of that plan.
Oh, I'm thrilled about it. I really am, knowing that every offseason, as we always say, is so difficult and so challenging because of the players that you're losing and you can't maintain, and all of the challenges to rebuild and restructure. But this year, coming off of the season, first of all, we came out with an attitude that we were really excited about. These guys were really positive and upbeat and supportive of one another. We knew they got along. You could feel the nucleus, the kind of nucleus that it takes to build a championship club. That's kicked it into high gear. But I think just the fact that we were able to get so much out of so little. We had worked some picks and we were down to 4 picks and we didn't know how it was going to go. We had major issues with the contracts and stuff coming up. We were able to make some moves as we plotted it out, and one after another really fit together well, and John had a great draft in maximizing 11 players out of a 4-player entrance, and so we've also been able to connect guys in this offseason. We've done some tremendous work with our contracts and the salary cap, and we've positioned ourselves in a place where we feel really good about the future.
When you look at the current roster, what stands out?
Depth. This is about depth. This is about challenges at key spots that are going to be so fascinating to see how they turn out. We couldn't tell you right now, and as late as it is right now, we can't tell you how it's going to go. We got to go through every day of camp and through the preseason and these games, and let it play itself out and give these guys a chance to compete and show who they are, and fit this thing together.
That's what I'm talking about, Portland! Woo-hoo!
Last year was all about a reset, reestablishing the winning formula. What is this year about?
This is about going for it. We're going for it. There's no question what's at stake here and the expectations that we have. We can be a championship club, and we've got to find it day to day. One play at a time, one step at a time as we work it. And then as we put these games together and we learn and grow and become the kind of team we're capable of becoming. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. It's about the guys in this locker room right now. And first off, it'll be the competition to get the team settled, and then it'll be about the next steps as we move into the schedule, and just take it one step at a time.
Russell with the snap, takes it, looks to the end zone, touchdown, Seahawks!
Way to go, Yes, nice shot.
What does it mean to have your franchise quarterback locked up long term?
Well, I think it's valuable to everybody in every phase. You know, Russell's been a great Seahawk. He's had a fantastic start to his career, and he's just kicking into, this is kind of phase 2 of his career. You know, he's gone through his first 10 years, he's going to get ready for the next 10. The confidence that he brings, the work ethic that he stands for, his competitiveness is off the charts, and his performance, his ability to win games when nobody else thinks he can win them, and his belief in doing that. All of those factors are all part of our team makeup.
How did year one with him working with Brian Schottenheimer go, and where are there areas where that relationship can improve?
Yeah, it was a big challenge here for both guys. For Schotty, knowing that he's got a franchise quarterback, he's got to find him, and he did. He challenged him. He's taken over command of more football than ever before, and he'll just continue to get better at it. This is really the golden part of Russell's career now, where he can really benefit from all of the years' experience. I think the connection with Schotty has taken him to the next level of the learning, and I think we should see him just take charge of the game even more than he has in the past.
Ball is caught. Turning upfield, his ball reverses.
We know what Doug Baldwin brought on the field. What are you going to miss the most about him not being around the facility?
Oh, it's just his pure competitor that he was. It showed up in everything that he was about. He was a fierce competitor, and in that it generated a style of play and an attitude about his play. You always used to call him Angry Doug and all that, but what he really was just a competitor, and he was a phenomenal battler. And it played over into how he took care of his body and how he worked his body through. He would come back from things you could never think a player could come back from. He just crushed the return to play times, and eventually, it caught up with him, and he was banged up, and he had to end his career. But that competitiveness is really the key.
On the bright side, you brought in 3 receivers via the draft, other guys, undrafted free agents as well. DK Metcalfe became an internet sensation before the draft. Fans are obviously really excited. What do you think the key to his success will be in finding the success at the next level?
He just needs to get comfortable. He's so talented. He's explosively fast. He's extraordinarily quick for a big man. He's got a great catching range that we've witnessed already in our practices. He's level-headed. He's a good learner. We need to find out how he battles and how he comes back when we drop a ball. How does he return to play? And after he makes a big play, does he come back and make another one? We just need to find out his nature as a competitor as he plays for us. But there's nothing he can't do, and so we're really excited about it.
When I say Seattle, what comes to mind?
I think the energy of the place. I think it's the energy that is so obvious in the nature, this extraordinary area that we live in, but it's also the energy of the people. I've been so taken by the following and the fans and the support and the love and the fun that we've had with our fans in that relationship. This place has just got a great energy, and I'm kind of energetic myself. I kind of, I like to get charged up, and every day here is a wonderful experience to be part of this community and all that. So, but I think it's the juice, and I think it's the juice from the trees and the mountains and the lake and the water and the rivers and all of that. But it's also the people that are just so extraordinarily, committed to following and being the great fans that they are.
Good job, D. How a way to work on it, D. That's it. That's a great win right there. Nice job. 2 in a row.
Being part of a football organization in and of itself is being part of a family, but having 2 of your sons out here the last few years, how important has that been for you?
It's been really, really important to me to have them on my side. They care as much as anybody could care about how we do and what we stand for. But what's unique about it is that they're willing to say what maybe other guys aren't willing to say. They close the door and come in and tell me what I need to hear sometimes, that it's comfortable for them. So the loyalty that they bring and the willingness to stick their neck out to say something to the head coach is extremely valuable to me. I'm only as good as my information, and they don't hold back, and I like that about them. They're both really smart coaches and good people, and they work with their people, their players really well, and they're a big part there. But they help me as much as anybody because of their willingness to stick their neck out a little bit when maybe other guys wouldn't do that.
Do you see similarities or differences with the way you coach and your style?
Some, they're so different. They're not at all alike. Brendan is just a ball of energy, and he's as enthusiastic as anybody on our staff, anybody you ever want to be around. And he's witty and sharp and smart and all of that. Nate is much more cerebral, really bright ball coach that really sees the essence of detail and can convey that to his players. They're really good at what they do, and I'm proud to have them on our club.
Anything better than walking off the practice field and seeing your grandkids there waiting for you?
No, that's about as fun as it gets. You know, that's to have the whole family around and to have them available to us where we can share this experience is really, you know, it's a once in a lifetime gift.
Pretty basic question, but what's your favorite part about your job?
Well, I've always said it's playing catch. You know, I've liked this game since I was a little kid, you know, and I play catch every day because it's what I enjoy about this game. And I don't know why it's throwing the football around, but it has always been the reminder and the connection to the fun. And there's nothing kind of more frivolous than just throwing the ball around and having a catch, you know, but it's been a big deal.
What's the worst part of your job?
Having to deal with the players and ending their career. Yeah, that's as challenging as anything, and it's not that it's so sad or that you're reluctant to do it. It's knowing that they have wound up their dreams as a ball player, and there's a whole new adventure coming, but sometimes they don't know that, and so it's helping them transition. But I know just having to give up the playing part of it myself, I've never gotten over it, and I don't expect many of them either to do that, so we have to learn how to deal with it. And it's very challenging, and it's kind of the dream going away a little bit, so that's the hardest part.
And anybody that stays in the same job for a long time, things can get a little monotonous. How do you prevent boredom?
Well, it's because of the competition. You know, the challenge is always there. And there's always another way to get a little bit better, and if you want to kick ass in what you're doing, you got to go for it, you know. And so that part of it never gets old, you know. I mean, it's not the wins, it's the challenge of getting as good as you can get.
We got to be quicker than this. Let's go, move it.
You know, it's more than that. So that never goes away. How can I help a young guy see something better than he's ever seen it before? How can I make an older guy understand that there's more to learn and there's more to be gained and there's more to contribute and more to give to those around him? And the competition of it just, you know, if you're in a relentless pursuit of finding a competitive edge in everything you do, it never rests. And so you either compete or you're not. That's what makes it happen.
Lastly, you've had a chance to work under some legendary coaches. Bud Grant obviously comes to mind. We're very excited about your contract extension here in Seattle, but when it's all said and done, have you thought about what your legacy is going to be or how you want that legacy to be portrayed?
How I've thought about that is someday I'll look back and we'll see what happened, you know. Not to try to call the success at the point of when you did it, you know, or when you accomplished something. Let's look back after it's all said and done, and then we'll see what we did, and we'll see what that means. Is there a legacy? Is there meaning to that? I would hope. I would hope that the time that we spend together was meaningful to the people around me. I really do hope that. And so I give them everything I got. And you know, I'm going to keep doing that, and then we'll see what the impact of that is someday, and we'll figure it out then.